we got some voicemails.
Got time for a few.
I
got to get to work.
Anchor, we got 15 minutes. Anchor.fm/the CU podcast. Go leave a short voicemail.
We've been chatty.
Well, I was looking for my lozenge too when I couldn't find my lozenge. I don't know what happened to those Ricolas. I honestly don't know. First one.
Hi guys, this is Robert from Cologne, Germany. I'm still sad to hear that Hans Ippisch is so heavily involved in this whole Amico debacle. I used to read his PlayStation magazine when I was a kid and really enjoyed his editorials. And it's sad to see him involved in this stuff. But, I'm new to the podcast and I just want to know how Pat and Ian met and how Pat and Frank met and what's up with Castle Country. Take care, guys.
Castle Country has a moat. I got a couple of alligators.
Big shark.
Yeah, I got a big shark. I met Ian.
We met at a destruction derby down in National City. I think it was 1989. I really liked his.
I had my Dodge Charger. What was Ian driving?
It was a Pinto.
No. We met in 2008, July, Comic-Con week. I came to see Watchmen. I literally Googled video game stores around, and I found 2 or 3, and I visited both, and Ian was there at the Voltaire location. I was chewing his ear off, trying to impress Ian with my collector knowledge. And Ian was nonplussed, but I bought a few games from him. I think I bought Baby Boomer and Prince of Persia, I believe. I think I bought 2. Baby Boomer sticks out as, I think, one of the ones I bought when I visited. I bought like 3 games.
Yeah,
I was
Baby
trying
Boomer
to
was one of them.
I was probably down to like 130 or something.
Oh, you still had 100 at least.
Yeah, I was still trying to get some of those unlicensed ones.
Moving on.
Moving on. Hey, I'm General Voicemail. You're Captain Intro.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, Pat and Ian. This is Zachary from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I was wondering what your guys' favorite wrestling games are. I heard you guys talk about wrestling and Fire Pro and all that.
Yes.
And my favorite is Fire Pro Wrestling World. I've been having a lot of fun with that. And SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Also, Pat, when do you think we'll have a CU podcast soundboard with all your sounds? Thanks, guys.
I can do an online one.
Yeah.
I could probably do an online one easily. They
Right.
probably exist, right? They could probably set one up. There's probably websites for that.
So my favorite wrestling games, Fire Pro Wrestling World is great. I actually I hadn't caught up on all the DLC, and they haven't released DLC for it since like 2019 or 2020. But I was really into that game in its early access phase, played a lot of it. I bought all the DLC that was out waiting on sale because it was all like really cheap. So I think there's like a better story mode now, and there's actually a move creator and stuff like that. So I want to get back into it and see. One game that I've ever been really, really good at is Fire Pro. As far as other wrestling games, No Mercy. No Mercy on the 64. Fire Pro World, obviously. SmackDown 2 on the PlayStation. I never played any of the PlayStation 2 wrestling games, really. And then there was a couple of imports that I really liked for the Dreamcast. Toucan Retsuden 4, which was New Japan. And the All Japan, I think it was like Giant Graham 2000. That's more of a fighting game than anything, but it's fun.
The Dreamcast?
Yeah, Dreamcast.
Hey, Justin from Hermosa Beach here again. I've been a snowboarder my whole life, living through all the eras since the 80s, and remember being so stoked when the first NES snowboard game came out.
Oh, no.
Heavy shredding.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait to play it, just seeing it from the ads in Thrasher magazine. Even after finally playing it, it was pretty horrible, but I loved it anyways because it was a great snowboard game, or it was a snowboarding game. Since then, there's been a lot of amazing games. Had quite a presence for many years, coming out regularly. I really love Cool Borders 2 for PS1. Had a nice scale, simple controls to it, and realistic trick options. SSX was big, but I just preferred a little more realistic with more of an arcade feel. So my last legit game was Shaun White for PS3, which is great. But since then, I haven't seen much new come out or interesting, unless you consider Alto's Adventure a snowboard game. But I feel a game more similar in tricks and arcade style to some of the more recent skate games, but have some throwback options with 80s and 90s themes with gear and.
Well, thanks, Justin, for running us through your snowboard.
I do. I mean, I here's the thing. It's easy. I feel bad because it's easy to get talking and thinking it's quick.
That's why I kept it in.
I do love snowboarding games. I've never snowboarded once in my life. I don't think I ever will at this point because I'm 40 and my back is shit. But there is one snowboarding game, and I've mentioned it probably on here. I definitely mentioned it on the Nasty Labs podcast. SSX3 is one of the fucking greatest video games ever created. It's nearly perfect from start to finish. The controls, the layout, it's incredible. I personally enjoy the more arcadey, goofy stuff.
What the hell was the one in the arcade where you actually had the snowboard control from like the late 90s? That was fun. You know what I'm talking about? That was like it was a skateboard, but there was also a snowboard.
I was going to say, I don't remember a snowboard one. The skateboarding one was by Sega.
That was fun.
It was called Top Skater.
That was great. What was the snowboarding arcade game with the snow? Am I making that up?
There's an X Games snowboarding one, but it looks recent. And it's also $10,000.
I thought there was one in the arcade. Maybe I'm making that up. I remember, obviously, the skateboard one was first. That was
clearly there was the skateboarding one.
I thought there was a snowboard one as well. I remember.
Well, I'm looking at one, but I don't remember ever seeing it.
All right, whatever Seaside had, that's fine. Next one.
Hi guys, it's Ian from Florida.
No, I'm Ian.
The question is, if you could pick any video game character to join Captain N, who would you pick, and how would you make them weird to fit in with the show's style? Thanks. Love the podcast.
Ooh.
I'd pick Sonic the Hedgehog because a bad Captain N version of Sonic the Hedgehog would be hilarious. And how would they make it weird? He'd be wearing sandals instead of sneakers.
Smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Just something. Hey, how you doing? I'm Sonic.
Oh my God, the kid, that show. People have like nostalgia for it. I don't get it.
That's all we had, and we liked it. We had that in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which was obviously superior because it was, that cartoon was actually good.
It was better.
Hi Ian and Pat, it's Aaron again. I hope you're both well. Just a quick one.
I'm okay.
I just wondered what your favourite console startup sequences are. Mine are the PlayStation 1, that's massively nostalgic for me, but I also weirdly love the Amiga CD32. Thanks once again.
We found one of the Amiga CD32 fans left alive in the world. I like the Sega CD startup one. There's like 2 or 3 different ones, but those were always nice. Sega Saturn, because I had a Saturn, that was memorable to me. The Sega ones did a good job. Nintendo doesn't have startup sequences.
Sega startups were great. The PlayStation 1 is iconic. And I also really like the GameCube startup.
Yeah, that's true. Was that Nintendo's first startup? Was GameCube? Yeah. No 64.
Yeah.
And they kept that going. What the hell was the Wii one?
I don't think there really was one because the Wii was boring as piss and designed to be boring as piss. It's white and inoffensive. I think it just said Wii, and then I don't think there was any animation or sounds.
And then the Neo Geo startup is iconic.
Yeah.
That was more the games, though, than did the AES have that? No. It was
it was always in the beginning of the game. I guess you could say it was the startup.
And I guess I have a soft spot for the original Sega Masters.
Oh, sure.
It's the cheap version of it.
Yeah.
I never liked the Genesis Sega when we were talking. I was like, I don't need that. Why you guys bragging you have voices?
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Armored Core got announced at the Game Awards, and a lot of people are going online and snatching up copies of the old ones for like PS3, 360.
Getting early.
Me included. I think I just got the last reasonably priced copy of 4 Answer for the 360.
Jeez.
But what do you think is going to happen when all these people that didn't play Armored Core back in the day go back and discover just what kind of game it is? I think it will be pretty interesting.
I don't know. So I love Armored Core.
You're the expert on it.
It's going to be interesting to see what they make Armored Core. They've already tried to like quell worry that it's just going to be, Dark Souls with mechs because it's made by the same company, and that's all they've been doing lately. And people are afraid that they're going to, try to smash Armored Core into what has made them very popular. From Software makes all those Dark Souls games. But they've already said that, don't worry, we're not going to do that. It really depends on which game you go back to if people are discovering it, because some of the older ones are very, very slow moving, whereas something like Armored Core 4 moves along at a pretty blazingly fast clip. I think people who are going to get into... I don't think it's so much people going back and remembering what the game is. I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what Armored Core 6 looks like as a game in terms of what you can do in it and how that's going to gel with people's expectations who have never played an Armored Core game because their expectations from Software right now are Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Sekiro, Elden Ring, all of these games that they've made recently. So it'll be interesting to see if it goes over well.
Hey guys, Carl from Virginia here.
Hey, Carl.
I recently found sealed copies of the original Doom and Doom 2 games on 3.5-inch discs when going through my garage. Now, I'm never going to sell these, and they're probably not worth much now, but maybe my kid will one day. What's the best way I can preserve their condition? Obviously, not getting them graded. Thanks.
Did he say sealed?
He said sealed.
Were they the boxes or just like the shareware discs?
If he meant the boxes, that stuff's worth a ton of money. Now, for the big box versions of Doom,
I wish I still had my big box of Doom too.
because just getting Doom in the box, it goes probably for over $100 to get the big box version.
Honestly, find yourself if they're big box PC versions, find yourself a nice acrylic case. Just put it in the acrylic case. Slide them in. Slide the cap on top.
It's not cheap to do those, but okay.
Well, I mean, you can use a non-acrylic one. But, I mean, if you want to preserve them, you want to get them in some sort of a case.
Where can you find a size for that, I wonder? Can you find like a
I
custom-
bet you there are big box protectors online somewhere. Okay. I would guarantee it.
I would just go for the greeting card holder size ones, like that stuff.
Oh, sure.
Like the NES box protectors. Like I wouldn't have to go for acrylic. I would just go for that. You'll be fine.
Yeah, they definitely make them.
They do? Okay.
Yeah,
I should probably get some.
I'm looking
I got
at
some.
them.
I got some spendy games now. I still have to. That's a resolution. I have to catalog my computer games finally. That I have to do. I don't remember what I have. Like 2 or 3 more here. All right.
Hey, Pat and Ian, this is Garrett from Auburn, Alabama again. I've been playing Haunted Castle on the Arcade Archives collection, and I was wondering if you feel like the $8 price point is worth it, and if so, what are some other Arcade Archives titles that you'd recommend? Thanks so much. Love the podcast,
I don't have to
as
listen.
always.
I don't have the list in front of me. They have a lot of stuff that's come out of Arcade.
I love the Arcade Archive stuffs, but yeah, I mean, you buy the games you want. Haunted Castle, despite looking kind of nice, is basically unplayable. I mean, that game is garbage.
I don't think people $8 for one arcade game that's just emulated to me is a lot of money.
They usually add some bonus stuff to it too.
That's just not.
I think it's fun.
Unless they offer packs, $8 is a lot for that.
If it's a game you want, like I said, it's authentic. It gives you usually foreign mode. It gives you both versions. It gives you a time attack mode. It gives you a carnival mode. So they give you different modes.
Okay.
Anyways, there's a lot of good Arcade Archives. One that I always go back to and play is Baseball Stars 2, Super Baseball 2020. Those are both Neo Geo Arcade Archives. Sky Skipper is a really fun one to pick up.
The Nintendo one?
Yeah, Sky Skipper is actually a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. That's a good one to pick up. So they're all well done. They all do what they say they're going to do on the tin. They play properly. Just pick up the games you like.
Do another tin like they're my grandfather's sardines.
Hey guys, this is Russ calling from just north of Turkey Point, Utah.
Turkey Point! What is Turkey Point?
Thanksgiving Point.
Are you serious? Did you check out the Amico? One of the few Amico events?
I'm not here to mark out for Dwayne, and I agree that this recent run with Black Adam is a terrible look, but I have to push back just a little bit on the idea that he's a one-dimensional actor. He did just fine in comedic roles with Kevin Hart or The Rundown with Sean William Scott, and the Jumanji remakes are hilarious. My favorite roles of his are in Be Cool and The Southland Tales. Finally, in Walking Tall, he gets absolutely demolished before fighting back and winning the day. See also Pain and Gain. Anyway, keep up the good work, and thanks for letting me listen.
Okay, we have to look up the dates of these. Walking Tall was like mid-2000s. That's almost 20 years ago.
Sure.
Southland Tales was in the 2000s as well. And Pain and Gain was probably 10 years at this point. And I've seen part of Pain and Gain. It's interesting. It's actually a Michael Bay film. It's a comedy with Mark Wahlberg. They're like roided up guys trying to commit crimes like, fraud. It's like a dark comedy.
Okay.
But in the past 10 years, can you please show me what Dwayne The Rock Johnson has done in the past 10 years on IMDb? And it will be all the same stuff. I'll run it down for you right now. We're gonna. I have not looked at this before. Let's run down from 2013 on what The Rock has done in terms of acting in movies, and we'll just see what he's done. Because now I'm actually curious. Yeah, he did the Tooth Fairy in the mid 2000s as well when he was trying to expand out. Let's see, 2000. We'll start with 2013. G.I. Joe Retaliation. He's playing The Rock. Empire State, I think he's playing The Rock. Pain and Gain, I'll give you that. Fast and Furious, he's The Rock. Hercules, he's basically The Rock. Furious 7, he's The Rock. San Andreas, he's The Rock. What else we got here?
Rampage, he's The Rock.
Central Intelligence, he's The Rock. It might have been a comedy, he's still The Rock. Fate of the Furious, he's The Rock. Baywatch, he's The Rock. In that Jumanji, he's The Rock. Rampage, he's The Rock. Skyscraper, he's The Rock.
This is longer than the list of a lot of population.
Hobbs and Shaw, he's The Rock. Ballers, TV series. I think he expanded his range in that show. I'll honestly give you that. Jumanji Next Level, he's The Rock. Jungle Cruise, he's The Rock. Free Guy, Bank Robbers is the voice, doesn't count. Red Notice, he's the fucking Rock in that. Black Adam, he's The Rock. So you see my point. He hasn't really had a range the past 10 years.
Sure.
It's been all action stuff. He experimented in the 2000s and it failed. I'm not saying he couldn't do that. That's not who he is. Arnold Schwarzenegger has had a much bigger range, I'm not even kidding, of acting roles and things that they've done than The Rock. And Van Damme, our lovable Van Damme, who's now had a resurgence on the past years, doing different things. Do a couple more here. Thanks for reaching out on Turkey Point, by the way.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. This is Max calling from Edison, New Jersey. If you're listening to this, it's now the New Year, so Happy New Year. I hope you guys enjoyed your holiday season, and I'm looking forward to the podcast this year. Thanks, guys.
Well,
thank you.
The timing's we're still going to have a podcast in some form, but it's going to be a little different after 350. And let's check in with someone. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Ian. It's Foxandra from New Jersey. And I'm in New Jersey right now celebrating Christmas with my whole entire family. I got my brothers over here. Say hi, brothers. What's up?
Well, you talking to me over here?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, yo, what's your favorite video game?
Oh, I like Final Fantasy 7.
There we go. What's your favorite video game?
I like the one where they fight in the streets.
And I got my sister over here. Say hi, sister.
Hello.
Yo, when she was young, they bought her Barbie for the NES. She doesn't play video games anymore, and you can't blame her, right?
No.
Got my dad over here. Say hi, Dad.
Hey, I like to make an offer.
Let's do that bit over again. Oh my goodness! Every single time, I tell you, every time we go to the restaurant, hey, to break a window, go ahead. You got an audience. Say it. Hey.
What I do? Break a window?
Every single time you get the check, it's ridiculous. And I got my mother over here. What's up?
Oh, anybody want a cup of coffee?
Listen, my time's running out here, so have a happy New Year's.
Thanks, Foxandra, for dispelling all the stereotypes about Jersey Italians. Was that? I can't tell. Was that a bit? Was that pre-recorded? I can't tell. Was that actually live?
No, she said she just recorded one and she'd been drinking a little and got her family involved.
Okay, because I was saying, like, they held their lines ready to go.
Yeah,
like,
they did.
Break a window or something? Like, that was just ready to go from Pops. That's funny. Thanks, Foxandra. Happy holidays.
They strike me as probably off the cuff.
You think they had some gabagool?
Off the cuff, folks.
They had some gabagool.
They probably did.
They had some. They had some prosciutto.
Some prosciutto.
Some mozzarella. Nice cannolis going on.